All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Habrakakwadash, double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. It's spiritual that today, the Spirit was on me that I was going to do a video just concerning the order of how to be a part of Great Millstone, or to even, fellowship at the camps and so forth and so on. And the Spirit was on me today. I said I'm going to do a video on that today, and then next thing you know, the Spirit was on the brother and the elder DC Slakia, I forget your name, and concerning an incident, and he did a lesson called "Know Them Which Labor Among You." I said, "Boy, that's the Spirit." And then I told the elder I was going to use parts of this video because the reason I wanted to touch on this topic is because, believe it or not, you got some men out there who are presumptuous and self-willed. Plenty of times we've seen people make video channels, YouTube channels, and they have GMS on their titles. But then nobody knows who this person is, and when you contact them, the guy's just like, "Oh, well, I just wanted to put GMS on my name because I want to be a part of GMS." They said that's not how it works, and then a lot of times they take it down, which is good, but it has to continually be addressed by the apostles and elders. And to be honest, we can't stop people from doing that. All we can do is just try to mark them. You see somebody with GMS in their titles, they got some off-the-wall doctrine. We first reach out amongst each other. Anybody know this person? Is anybody camp? If nobody noticed them, we reach out and we say, "Look, who are you? What's your camp name, and who's your camp head? Where you at?" If they don't respond, or if they do respond, we say, "Listen, you're not a part of GMS. Take that off your channel." If they say no, then we just mark them. We make it known to the congregation, avoid this guy. We can't stop people from doing that, right? You got a lot of weirdo groupies out there as well. I remember the elder in London, Ricard, I believe his name. He did one lesson. I remember the title because I like the phrase he used. He said, "You got a lot of jakes who are humbly haughty. You either one or the other. You can't be both." And he was acknowledging this channel out there who had GMS on it, and he reached out to him. He said, "Listen, I'm in the London area. I'm actually one of the heads of London. You're not a part of GMS, so you need to take GMS off your title." The guy says, "Well, I disagree," and that's why he did the lesson. So you got a lot of guys out there who think that they think how GMS or how things should be run according to what they think, right? And not only that, but there's people even amongst our area who think that, right? And it's good that the brother did the video, because I'm going to also let him explain it, in case you happen to think that it's just me saying that, and if you was to go to another GMS camp, it'd be different. So I'm gonna let one of the elders speak and say the exact same thing. And this is really for anybody out there who really wants to be a part of GMS. You're studying the scriptures, you want to be a part. Understand that there is an order. And we have to continually go over this because you got new members, right? They don't see the orders from the apostles. And what I want to stress is that the things we are saying, we get that from the top. We get it from on top. It's not just us saying it, So let me let this brother speak for a minute.
Israelites are new Israelites to understanding the truth. You're following Great Millstone, and you have a desire to want to be a part of the camp. All right. Well, what you have to do first, in order to be anywhere close to, on board with crossing the line and joining a camp, you first have to know the men that are in the camp. All right. You have to show good faith. To try and come out, to try and communicate, so that way you might have an opportunity down the road, if we're still here, anyways, to join the camp. All right. Now,
you have to prove yourself.
Verse 12 it says, "And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you." Right. So a lot of these camps have been established for well over 10 years. Speaking specifically here in the DC area. Now it says that you need to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord. Certain men have been put in certain positions, all right, in these camps to rule them, all right.
And you have to accept that, because it's according to the scriptures, according to the order of the church of the scriptures. You are going to have men that are over you. You know, we had situations amongst GMS where we had GMS camps where, you know, you can't communicate with them, can't contact with them, and we come to find out, you know, that camp thinks that they're pretty much too good to contact the other camp or report to the other camp. But the apostles and elders established certain camps in over certain regions to be the person of contact, and that they must report to that camp head or whatever. And that's just how it is. You know, we find out that the spirit was, oh, why should I report to you? You know, I don't feel that I should report to you. That's the order. That's how it is. Now, this is 1 Thessalonians 5, and he read this scripture. That's the scripture he was actually reading. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12. But the point I want to read is verse 14. It says, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. And I'm going to come back to that word. Comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men. All right. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. It says, let all things be done decently and in order. And here in Great Millstone, we have an order that's been established, and it's been established from the top. So whatever the head of Atlanta says to a brother that comes up to them, whatever the head of one of the heads of Chicago says to any brother that comes up to them and they want to join, whatever that brother says and how they operate, they're getting it from the top. They're not just some independent contractors that say, okay, we run things this way and differently. Same here, you know, in St. Louis. How we operate is the same how we operate, the other camps operate, and from the main camp. Now, if you say, well, I think it should be done this way, or I think it should be done that way, then that means you have a problem with the order, even though you may say you don't, and that means you don't need to be around Great Millstone. That's simple. There is an order. You got the camp leader, the second in the command, the third in command, and on down. That's the order. Now, if you don't look at those men or show them the proper respect and see them as men that you have to, you know, report to, or they're over you, then that just means you don't need to be a part of the camp. You know, you got a lot of guys out there, which I guess, you know, their whole life they have things go their own way. So now they want to come up under the camp, but they don't want to come. They got to come up under some order, and now they got a problem with that. And we've dealt with that plenty of times. The apostles and elders have dealt with that plenty of times. Okay, we're experienced with it, but it's just a fact. You know, we had one guy. He came down to the camp. He was a few months. Everything was tawab until he got rebuked one time, and it was a soft rebuke. The rebuke was simply, look, brother, if you don't hear GMS teach it, then don't just blurt it out. Because, you know, we had visitors from the neighborhoods come around, and he was around, and he was saying a bunch of stuff, you know, because he was happy. And their brothers warned me. They said, look, you got to watch that brother. That brother talking about some, you know, Esau can see the chariots and the dimension that the chariots come out of with the telescopes. He's saying that the bottom of the pit is this and this and that. I'm like, oh, really? So the next camp, all I did was say, hey, listen, brother, if you don't hear GMS teach it, then don't say it, because it's making other camps think that maybe we teach that and we don't. And he got so upset that he never came back after that. He was like, well, I'm not going to say anything else again. And he never came back after that. One rebuke. And this is just me personally, but from my experience, what I've witnessed is that you got a lot of men out there that don't belong in the camp. Just don't belong. Ones that are just demons. Like I mentioned in my last video, we dealt with some demon, and he was a camp hopper. He went from California to Detroit, and everywhere he went, he was causing hell. And he came here, and he caused hell. And from that point, I was like, yeah, you see, some people just they don't need to be in the camp. They're not brotherly. They're not willing to be subjected unto the order. Right? So if I go back to this unruly, you go to that word there, unruly. And it says to warn them. Right? Unruly, the Greek word aktos. It means disorderly, out of ranks. Irregular, inordinate, immoderate pleasures. Okay? Disorderly, meaning you're outside the order. Right? Which made me think of the book of James, chapter 1.